Over the last few videos I have attempted to highlight the absurdity of Moses or God's law regarding idolatry, and the extent that this God would have us thrown into the Dark Ages if all art, literature and scientific learning was to be gone under these said laws. However, I do think idolatry is bad, and not the magic sky daddy thing, because that's just nonsense, but everyday idolatry. Everyone is a little guilty of idolatry, whether it's for a boy band, a respected member of society, or Nobel Prize winners. For Christian fundies, probably a top personality, a pastor like Ted Haggard. No, meth and male prostitution, that's probably a bad choice. Fred Phelps. No, guess not, homophobic hate-mongerer. Well, one that hasn't been caught with his trousers down, or a complete right-wing fascist or something. I guess that is actually what is required to be a preacher type. But anyway, that's sort of idolatry. I also have seen internet personalities get treated with a faultless accolade and righteously defended on the Christian side of things, usually to a bad end. But I say verily to you all that is much the case on the atheist side also. Certain atheist personas believing in their adoring fan base of their flawlessness. It is virtually impossible to be individual these days because of your friends, associates, work colleagues, or just the person you bump into on the street. Everyone is influenced by another person. Humanity is a social species, but it is getting pushed further away because of dogma. If you're out and about and you see a person with a t-shirt you like the design of, your internal monologue starts up. That would look cool on me. I want that t-shirt. Where did he get it? Then there's varying degrees of how much, how far, and what do I have to do in microseconds in your mind. Magazines, newspapers, television, internet, companies are trying to say to you, you are not perfect and need their product to be the desirable, successful, dynamic person you should be, instead of just being who you are, warts and all. TV shows are specifically designed to make you feel inferior. Keeping up with the Kardashians. The title itself implies that somehow you are beneath these people. You have to in some way look up to these moronic figures who lead a jet-set lifestyle with more money than sense, and by you watching these shows, making rich people richer while belittling yourself and handing over your power and self-worth to their standards. What a masochistic thing to do. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with looking good in a nice set of clothes, feeling confident, fresh and ready for what may come. But there is a problem with how it's sold to us. Humans have a desire to belong, to be part of something bigger than ourselves, which probably stems from the better chances of survival being cooperative species, and is so implanted deep in our psychology and probably even our genetics. But now the goalposts have shifted. We no longer face the dangers of the savannah, where everything was bigger, stronger and faster, and just wanted to gore, tramp or just plain eat you, to the urban jungle, where straight teeth, Armani suits and Grecian formula dyed hair get you the promotion to bring home the bacon, or get the accolade of your colleagues and friends. But really it is all very superficial and very pointless. Beauty is only skin deep, but ugly goes all the way to the bone. Churches sell just the same, and are completely designed to lure in the unsuspecting pilgrim with messages of hope, salvation and community. But all it is a shakedown for your money and the next generation of believers, done their way of course. Even looking up to historical figures like Gandhi, who was supposedly famous for his non-violent protests, has skeletons in his cupboard, like paedophilia and racism. Che Guevara, a symbol of revolution, who overthrew the tyrannical Batista regime that allowed Americans to use Cuba as a whorehouse and a complete den of iniquity, was a complete homophobe, interring and murdering many homosexuals. Nelson Mandela had strong communist connections and certainly is thought to have cracked some skulls in his time. Are these people worthy of your adoration? I certainly have never done any of these things, so does that make me better than them? Why would I look up? I expect to meet a level gaze with anyone and everyone from presidents to the Pope. If you expect me to genuflect, bow or kiss ass in any way, I don't want anything to do with you. Never want to meet you, and for that action alone you have sullied yourself. demanding reverence like I am a subject. It's all nonsense. I am sovereign and master of my own destiny, and I know without any divine intervention what is wrong and right. But indeed, I am as guilty of idolatry as anyone. Over the last couple of years, there has been a lot of write-up in the British press about various television personalities being kiddie fiddlers, the whole sordid Jimmy Savile thing. I met various of these figures when I worked security at the BBC in the early 90s, but the one I liked the most was Rolf Harris. I met him various times at entry gates and would exchange pleasantries, and he would not hurry, and I found him very down to earth and quite a gentleman. Many times acquiring his autograph not only for me but for many of my relations and friends, who also thought of him as a household name at that time. I have fond memories of my father singing Two Little Boys to me as a child, because it was a hit by Rolf in the early 70s. Of course, that is all gone now, so be very careful who you idolise. Be very careful indeed. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.